Evelyn Stone had once been the brightest star at Ridgeway High. She was smart, kind, and trusted, until one rainy evening in her senior year, when everything fell apart. That night, during the school's annual fundraising gala, her best friend and class president, Amelia Wright, framed her for stealing $5,000 in charity funds. The evidence was damning. Evelyn's fingerprints on the cash box, fake messages on her phone, confessing, and a conveniently timed rumor spread like wildfire. Evelyn was expelled. Her scholarship vanished. Her dreams of becoming a lawyer were reduced to ashes overnight. Meanwhile, Amelia was praised for catching her, graduated with honors, and went on to become a well-known socialite and influencer. Evelyn didn't cry for long. She vowed that one day, Amelia would pay. 7 years later, Evelyn wasn't the naive girl she used to be. She'd worked multiple jobs, clawed her way into law school, and was now one of the most ruthless, up-and-coming attorneys in the city. She hadn't spoken to anyone from Ridgeway in years, until a headline made her pause mid-sip of coffee. Amelia Wright facing lawsuit over charity fraud. Evelyn almost laughed. Amelia, it seemed, had kept her old habits. A charity she managed had misplaced nearly $200,000. And donors were furious. The case was high profile, and guess who was representing the plaintiffs? Evelyn Stone. The first meeting was deliciously awkward. Amelia strutted into the conference room in designer heels, her fake smile faltering the moment she saw Evelyn seated at the head of the table. Evelyn Stone, she stammered. Evelyn's voice was calm, almost sweet. It's been a while, Amelia. 7 years, to be exact. You're the lawyer. That's right. I represent the people you stole from. Again, Evelyn slid a folder across the table. You might find the evidence familiar. Inside were photographs, bank statements, and a series of anonymous emails detailing Amelia's recent thefts. What Amelia didn't know was that Evelyn had been tracking her for years, waiting for her to slip big enough to bury herself. The trial became a media circus. Amelia tried every trick in the book, lying, crying on the stand, playing the victim. But Evelyn dismantled her piece by piece, using her own arrogance against her. One moment in particular went viral. Evelyn, Miss Wright, do you recall accusing someone of theft during your senior year at Ridgeway High? Amelia, that has nothing to do with this case. Evelyn, on the contrary, it shows a pattern. Would you like me to present the forged text messages you created back then? Gasps filled the courtroom. Amelia's lawyer objected. The judge overruled. Evelyn presented everything. Digital forensics proving Amelia had planted the evidence in high school, testimonies from classmates who had kept silent out of fear, and a sworn statement from the janitor who had seen Amelia slip into the principal's office that night. By the end of the trial, Amelia's facade was shattered. She was found guilty, sentenced to prison, and ordered to repay every stolen dollar. Her influencer career evaporated overnight. Sponsors dropped her like a stone. Evelyn stood outside the courthouse as reporters swarmed. Miss Stone, how does it feel to finally get justice? One asked. Evelyn smiled faintly. Justice isn't about getting even. It's about making sure the truth wins. But, she paused, eyes glittering. I'd be lying if I said it didn't feel good to finally have the last laugh. She walked away, the cameras flashing, the weight of 7 years lifting from her shoulders. That night, as she poured herself a glass of wine, Evelyn opened an old wooden box from under her bed. Inside was the torn-up acceptance letter to Harvard Law she'd once received, ruined because of Amelia's lies. She burned it in the fireplace, not out of sadness, but as a final farewell to the girl who had been wronged. Evelyn Stone wasn't a victim anymore. She was the storm. Moral: sometimes revenge isn't about rage. It's about patience, precision, and making sure your enemy destroys themselves with their own hands.